Churchill's about to get a new attraction along with the polar bears. After years of hauling their refuse out of town, they're about to build what they call a world-renowned garbage dump. But some residents have a problem with that. Yesterday, they told us the dump would be located too close to a major tourist attraction. They're hugely popular tundra buggy tours. They also fear the garbage would lure too many polar bears off their migratory path. Michael Spence is the mayor of Churchill. Hi there, Michael.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Pretty good.
So what about this dump? Will it be located along the same route as the tundra tours?
Well, let's put it this way. It's not a garbage dump. It's a landfill.
It's a landfill, okay,
yeah. Landfill. And I think that's what the misconception is. So once, what we did last week is we had our open house. We had a good response to the open house, shared the information firsthand, which is part of the process, and a lot of people went away satisfied. So there's a misconception out there, and that's too bad that has happened, but that's part of the process. And in terms of tourism and landfill and management, the solid waste management plan, I mean, the fact is we have to do it in a way that's going to make sure that this community continues to be a destination of tourists, world-renowned, and we understand that. So this is why it's very critical in terms of how we developed this waste management plan, and we've been working on this for 2 years. So it will, at the end of the day, enlighten the people in terms of what we're doing with this plan and thinking long term.
Okay, but I need to ask you, if you say people are reacting to it as a misconception, doesn't that speak then to maybe the information that's been promoted, it's not getting out there properly, or what's going on?
No, I think what's happened again is that. And it's not a lot of people, don't get me wrong. It just a few people, actually. And what's happened is that they have decided to distort the information.
Okay, so let's walk through some of the things they told us they were concerned about. Yep. First of all, will it be on the route where the tundra buggies go? Will tourists be able to see it when they're heading out to see the polar bears?
No, you won't. You see, the selection that the location that we've selected is Site 2. There's a drop. It's actually it's along the roadway, but you're not going to see it. You may see part of the fence when you're coming back, but part of that, all we can do there, which makes a lot of sense, is that some of the vegetation can be relocated to so that it's not so noticeable.
Now, what about the concern that it's close to the migratory path of the bears, and it could make the bears sort of off their path?
No, that's not true at all. I mean, the fact is, the whole town and the community of Churchill will then be in their path, and that is not the case at all.
Will it attract the bears the way it's going to be set up? Will bears be able to get into it?
No, because what's happening, you see, what will happen is that there's 11 cells that will be constructed. You'll do one cell at a time, and the approximate size of each cell would be about 50 feet by about 600 feet. And the way we're going to compact our waste and store the waste, it would take approximately 5 to 10 years to do one cell. And once you transport the waste there, the compacted waste, it'll be covered immediately. So it's not going to be a dump. There's part of the plan actually is the L5 would be the transfer location where the waste would be transferred. It would be contained. This landfill would only be open for the moving of the material, from June to maybe the end of September.
Is there any concern that stuff could be blowing around the tundra if you're going to be recycling and stuff like that?
No, it won't be, because there's going to be a fence there. And like I said, it's going to be done in a way that will not allow that to happen.
And you've come up with this plan through, I gather, a lot of consultation with the experts?
That's right. We've hired an engineering company that actually we've been at this game for a couple of years.
Michael, how much money is this going to save you?
Well, I'll tell you what it's costing us now. For instance, it's costing us $5,000 a week to transport our waste to Thompson, Manitoba. So that's $250,000. At the end of the day, if we do our cards right, we'll probably do about $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 less than that. Now, but naturally, there's some capital cost that will have to be borne on this.
Mm-hmm. Now, I need to ask you, because you do have a little bit of exasperation in your voice. Are you getting a lot of problems, a lot of people coming to you with concerns about this, or is it just...
No, like I said, like we had 103 people come to the open house. We might have, noticeably, there might have been 3 or 4.
And is it a done deal? Is it going ahead? Is that where it stands now?
Well, actually, this will, it's up to the whole process. Now it'll be up to the Manitoba Conservation and move this ahead.
To do all the environmental studies and that type of thing.
It's all been done.